welcome to HW News. At a time when India is fighting not only the coronavirus pandemic but also the rampant misinformation and Islamophobia, a damning report from the USCIRF has come to light. Now, apparently, the US Commission on International Religious Freedom has put India under the list of countries of particular concern for the first time after 2004. Apparently, yesterday there was a meeting conducted by the USCIRF Commission and a report was released, an annual report 2020 was released in this particular meeting. Now, in this meeting, the report puts India under the list of CPCs along with countries like Saudi Arabia, China, North Korea and Pakistan. Now, this is for the first time since 2004 that India has been put under the list of countries of particular concern by the USCIRF. Last year, it had put India in the Tier 2 countries list, and since then, it is for the first time after 2004 when India has been put under the list of CPCs. Now, the USCIRF Annual Report 2020 mentions the legislations and the amendments made after Prime Minister Narendra Modi came to power for the second time after the 2019 Lok Sabha elections with a massive majority. It also expresses concerns regarding the CAA, the Citizenship Amendment Act, the National Register of Citizens as well. Now, you might remember that last year there have been several massive scale protests across the country against the CAA, NRC and NPR in the country. It also mentions the anti-conversion laws and the situation in Jammu and Kashmir in particular in this particular report, while listing India under the list of countries of particular concern. The report, in a scathing remark, observed that India took a sharp downturn in 2019. The national government used its strengthened parliamentary majority to institute national-level policies violating the religious freedom across India, especially for Muslims. The panel said that the CPC designation was also recommended because national and various state governments also allowed nationwide campaigns of harassment and violence against religious minorities to continue with impunity and engaged in and tolerated hate speech and incitement to violence against them. But that's not all. The Commission also recommends the US government to take stringent action against India under the International Religious Freedom Act, and it also suggests to impose strict sanctions against Indian government agencies who are violating the religious freedom. It also recommended imposing targeted sanctions on Indian government agencies and officials responsible for severe violations of religious freedom by freezing those individuals' assets and or barring their entry into the United States under human rights related financial and visa authorities citing specific religious freedom violations. Now, this is not the first time that the USCIRF has recommended so to the US government. In 2005, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi was then the Chief Minister of the state of Gujarat, the USCIRF had censured him. It has put sanctions against Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who was then the Chief Minister of the Gujarat state, and subsequently the US government had also cancelled the visa of then Chief Minister of Gujarat, Narendra Modi. This time, the USCIRF 2020 report makes specific mention of Home Minister Amit Shah for not taking what it deemed as sufficient action to stop the cases of mob lynching in the country and for referring to migrants as termites. In December 2019, the USCIRF had also asked the US government to consider sanctions against Amit Shah and other principal leadership over the decision to pass the Citizenship Amendment Act. However, 3 of the 10 USCIRF commissioners, including the Gary Bauer, Johnny Lee and Tenzin Dorji, dissented with the panel's recommendation on India as being too harsh, and that ended up placing the country alongside what they termed as rogue nations like China and North Korea. Commissioner Bauer, in his dissenting note, said that I am confident that India will reject any authoritarian temptation and stand with the United States and other free nations in defense of liberty, including religious liberty. On the other hand, the centre reacted sharply to the USCIRF report, terming it biased and tendentious, and rejected its observation. Anurag Srivastava, the spokesperson of Ministry of External Affairs, said that we reject the observation on India in the USCIRF annual report. He said its biased and tendentious comments against India are not new, but on this occasion, its misrepresentation has reached new levels. It has not been able to carry its own commissioners in its endeavor. We regard it as an organization of particular concern and will treat it accordingly. The Ministry of External Affairs had rejected the USCIRF statement as neither accurate nor warranted and questioned the body's locus standi in India's internal affairs. The MEA had also criticized the USCIRF for a tweet on religious segregation in hospitals while treating COVID-19 patients, saying that the US body made preemptory commentary on religious freedom in India and spread misguided reports. Now, recently, several scholars across Kuwait and UAE had flagged the Islamophobic tweets from Indian Twitter, and that had kind of created a diplomatic crisis for the Indian government. Now, in this background, the USCIRF report damning India and putting India in the CPCs is even more damning. Do let us know what you think in the comment box below. For more news and updates, you can log on to www.swnews.in.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.